December 28th, 2022, the 13th major patch that Escape from Tarkov has done. This patch introduced Streets of Tarkov, featuring urban infrastructure such as hotels, factories, and residential complexes. Repair kits now enhance weapons and armor based on your skill levels, with new improvements like reduced malfunction and damage. 2 new skills, light armor and heavy armor, were added, along with the rework of the charisma skill affecting costs and services. This update added new weapons, including grenade launchers, the AUG, the Glock 19X, the RSH-12, plus new equipment. Co-op PvE features now allow greater customization, such as bot settings, spawn points, and weather controls. The hideout receives shooting range upgrades with moving targets and training programs. 5 new stimulants with unique effects were introduced, and the bosses like Tagilla and Killa received new voice lines, and numerous balancing changes were implemented across quest, trading, and crafting. Weapon malfunctions now apply to the bots, and graphic improvements include FSR 2.1 and optimized sound with Oculus Audio. Technical fixes are addressed memory leaks, bot behavior, and visual glitches, alongside other quality improvements. December 31st, 2022. Happy New Year. Hotfix. This hotfix addresses several bugs and optimization, including fixes for animations with stationary weapons and grenade launchers, lighting issues on Streets of Tarkov, and landmine behavior on Lighthouse. Player spawns, co-op bot settings, and sun glare visuals have all been corrected, along with localization for exits and various hideout interactions. Additionally, effects from consuming salty dog sausage were fixed, and further technical improvements were made for the stability and the performance of the servers. January 27th, 2023, hotfix. This patch brings significant improvements to gameplay and fixes numerous issues. It reduces rubber banding and desync on the Streets of Tarkov, resolves geometry and lighting problems, and corrects sounds issues with binaural audio. Weapon sounds and durability for various guns, including rogue bosses' weapons, were also addressed, alongside fixes for item weights and skill leveling above 50. Jaeger purchasing conditions, Lightkeeper dialogue and quest objectives, and the rogue Zarachi spawns have also been adjusted. The patch also fixes gem, air filter unit, and repair kit mechanics in the hideout, adds a new muzzle brake, and resolves camera aiming issues with the Kappa Rhino. Additional technical fixes and optimization improve gameplay and stability in the interface behavior. February 23rd, 2023. This update reworks the player group system, allowing group members to remain in group after raids. With the group leader handling all raid setup, co-op practice mode can now host up to 20 players, and the quest reward system has been adjusted to always provide the specific skill levels. Fixes include resolving issues with invisible players and bots, optimizing Oculus audio components, and improving sound positioning on the lab. Several visual gameplay issues were addressed, such as a hand freezing when using consumables, AI behavior for Zarachi and his guards, and incorrect weapon attachment icons. Other fixes include spawn point issues, fence reputation loss for killing Zarachi as a scav, and problems with the shooting range gunshot sounds. Additionally, the update resolves UI glitches, NVG visual artifacts, and issues with certain weapon animations and ergonomic penalties. April 4th, 2023, this update includes an upgrade to NVIDIA's DLSS and AMD's FSR, as well as changes to the sound positioning settings on Reserve, Shoreline, and Streets of Tarkov. Smoke grenades now have a 30% increase in cloud size and spread speed. An in-game mail notification system for banned players based on reports has been added, and the flea market's offer placement UI has been adjusted. The quest area for Assessment Part 1 has also been expanded. Fixes include resolving disconnection issues during raid times, visual problems with older versions of DLSS and FSR, indoor fog glow on Interchange and Reserve, and an excessive vegetation sway. Other fixes address streets lighting flickering, texture memory leaks, object culling issues, incorrect visuals on the Streets of Tarkov, improper audio behavior with indoor gunshots or explosions. Additionally, there are fixes for character visuals on stationary weapons, conflicting attachments, matching issues, and spawn point problems on Lighthouse and Streets of Tarkov. The update also fixes issues with loading into the lab in co-op mode, looking through walls and multiple maps, and insurance for enhanced items. May 26, 2023, 13.0.5. This update includes several sound and visual improvements. The first iteration of the sound positioning system has been completed across all locations, including Lighthouse, Interchange, Reserve, and the labs. The voice line engine has been reworked for more realistic sounds, with adjustments to the volume drop, muffling, and transparency at a distance. Active headsets have been improved, lowering volume levels for all headsets and enhancing high frequencies for better footstep and voice detection. Sound artifacts and issues with concussion effects, grenade sounds, and muting during the room transitions have also been fixed. Visual issues with flashlights have been addressed, including the prevention of light shining through walls and obstacles, flickering flashlight behavior, and adjustments to brightness and beam range. Bots can no longer instantly rotate while prone, experience gain for killing or looting players in the same group has been disabled, and dog tags from these players will be sold at 1 ruble and will not count as found in raid. Lastly, the frequency of bot voice lines and shouting during combat has been greatly reduced. July 6, 2023, this update focuses on improving player display, synchronization, and network performance. Key changes includes increasing the number of network entities in the Streets of Tarkov raid, improving hit registration, and enhancing player positioning accuracy. There's a reduced chance of desync with the server, along with optimizations in the network traffic and memory consumption. A major update to the Oculus Spatializer resolves positioning issues with multiple audio sources. Weapon sounds have been adjusted to be more volumetric without losing sound positioning. Interior reverb sounds have also been modified when wearing active headsets. Balancing changes includes a 30% reduction in damage to blacked out limbs and a slight increase in blunt damage. The bot spawn system in practice mode has been reworked for a more accurate bot numbers based on selected settings. Fixes include resolving culling issues on Streets of Tarkov, fixing practice mode settings reset, and improving bot spawns with the settings menu isn't open. Other fixes include correcting the display of thermal sights through weapons, the visibility of weapon flashlights, the visibility of artifacts when changing the field of view, glass and transparent object rendering on Streets of Tarkov has been optimized, and stutters related to the sound occultation has been addressed. Additionally, bugs with sound behavior for open and closed doors, player scabs losing reputation after killing rogue bosses, and freezing bosses after grenade throws have been fixed. Road decals no longer interfere with dropped items as well. August 10th, 2023, a wipe happened. Patch 13.5. This patch includes a new boss, Kappa, on the Streets of Tarkov map, who leads a well-armed gang of heavy defenses, including snipers and machine guns. Players can now save and equip gear presets, and containers will now spawn at random points across the maps. A quicker sidearm swap feature was added, consuming stamina, and improvements based on weapon mastery. Bot behavior has been enhanced with looting, group dynamics, and a new commands for player scavs. The user interface has been updated, and new features like weapon stand in the hideout and quick sell of scav gear has been added. Crafting improvements include animation and better display, while several new weapons and ammo types have been introduced. Balance changes have been applied to ammo, trade, and quests. New requirements have been added for constructing models in the hideout, and numerous bug fixes and visual corrections have been made. September 7th, 2023, patch 13.5.1. The patch introduces several improvements, including new quests and an expanded quest lines, a new weapon preset list tab, the option to hide the intermediate trader list screen, and configurable double-click usage for consumables. Fixes include resolving loading issues with PMCs and scavs on Street Tarkov, visual sound fixes on that map, and various bug fixes like incorrect landmine explosions, energy restoration bugs, and issues with quests like Knock Knock and Getting Acquainted. Recoil behavior for the SVT and AVT have been adjusted, and several inventory, UI, and equipment-related bugs have been fixed. Additionally, scav group behavior has been improved, and various animation and visual issues have been resolved. December 27th, 2023, a wipe happened with patch 14.0. This patch adds the new Ground Zero location for beginner players, including various city infrastructure and key areas of the Terror Group office. New starter quests and visual cues are included, and higher level PMCs can't access it. A new boss, Kalante, joined Streets of Tarkov along with his gang members Bazmak and Gus. Shoreline has been visually reworked with new areas, improved gameplay, and more than 30 new containers. Several new weapons, including the 9A91 and the SIG MCX, have been added alongside the new achievement system and a Hall of Fame feature in the hideout. Armor systems have been reworked with new ballistic plate zones and integrated armor mechanics. Vaulting and obstacle interactions are now possible, as well as shoulder transitions for weapons. New recoil mechanics improve weapon handling, and Lightkeeper services offer special perks. The BTR has been added to Streets of Tarkov, providing various services including a taxi and covering fire. Quality of life changes including improved painkiller visuals and hideout camera system tweaks. Many fixes were made to the visuals, spawn points, AI, and other in-game issues. February 12th, 2024, patch 14.1. This patch introduces several key changes and fixes. Armor damage mechanics have been reworked where bullets lose penetration power and damage after passing through armor layers. Blunt damage has been adjusted for ballistic plates and soft armor. Head colliders have been redefined, and bullets can no longer pierce thorax or stomach areas. Granite BR4 and BR5 plates now fit into specific Wartech plate carriers. Recoil for pistols, shotguns, and SKS carbines have been tweaked. Visual and sound improvements were made to the BTR effects, and the chance of spawning an empty container was reduced. Achievements now show 10th percentiles for completion. The Stash expansion and co-op practice mode will soon be available for purchase. Several plate carriers and body armor have been upgraded to Class 3. Fixes include visual and geometry corrections for Ground Zero and Streets of Tarkov, camera shake issues, bugs with aiming and slightly shifting vaulting mechanics, and problems with the BTR interactions have was fixed. The ability to transfer restricted items using the BTR has also been fixed, as well as issues with Lightkeeper services and player animations. Several inventory and equipment issues were resolved, including problems with magazine slots, reloading, and the incorrect display of face shields. AI movement and cultist behavior have also been adjusted, and quest logic has been fixed. Various display and UI bugs, including issues with optics, achievement icons, and mouse settings, were also addressed. Additionally, damage from fire and barbed wire has been balanced, and the possibility of generating a player scav without equipment has been fixed. April 3rd, 14.5. This patch introduces the first iteration of the season system starting with early spring. The season's change includes updates to location visuals and ambient sounds and weather effects, with more seasons planned for future updates. The BTR has been added to woods, traveling between multiple locations including Scav Bunker and Emercom base. The BTR suspension system has been detailed for better rough terrain movement, and the northern and southern UN roadblock exits have been opened for the BTR to drive outside, although you will be under sniper fire. The matching system for Ground Zero has been updated, dividing players into beginner, level 20 and below, and experienced, level 21 and above. Ground Zero will be available to all players, but experienced players will face more difficult scavs, rare loot, airdrop chances, and the possibility of scav boss Colonnade. A warning system is given when selecting the modified version for experienced players, and scav matching is independent of the player's level. Several quests have had their objectives added to Ground Zero, and the new daily and weekly tasks have been introduced. And I loved it because I loved bullying them little Timmies. Oh, it's my favorite thing to do every wipe. The sound system has been improved with updated ambient sounds for the current season, dynamic wind volumes, and smoother transitions between day and night, and enhanced audibility through doors and windows. The BTR now has external sound suppression when inside. The UI has been improved with damage and penetration stats for ammo, more detailed skill leveling information, and the ability to view and report players via their dog tags in the lobby. Other changes include optimization of the AI cover search, a lighting change in the Ultra Mall for interchange, a sound signal for the BTR departs, and improved hit registration when tilting quickly. Several fixes were made, such as improving vaulting and climbing mechanics, AI behaviors with stationary weapons, damage calculation for limb penetration, and fixing loot issues in Streets of Tarkov. There are also fixes for FPS drops, ricochet damage registration, and visual effects for painkillers with NVGs, among others. And that wasn't even a wipe. Like, 14.5 didn't even wipe. They provided like a wipe's worth of stuff without wiping. And then just 12 days later, in April 15th, 2024, 14.5.5 came out, a patch that optimized the AI spawn algorithm at the start of the online raids. It adds new weapon switching sounds based on the weapon type and length, along with balancing adjustments to the trader item limit system. An achievement has been introduced for players who complete the quest chain in the spring event, and new PMC outfits are available for purchase on the website. Fixes include revolving the overlapping sound when breaking fluorescent lamps, adjusting the volume of container searching, equipment handling, weapon switching, and crouched movement at minimal speed. The ambient sound issue on woods had got fixed, as well as the display of the sorting table button for different monitor aspect ratios. And then just 7 days later, a non-patch again, patch 14.6, the most controversial patch. The Unheard edition is now available for purchase, offering access to the PvE co-op mode with persistent progression, enhanced stash size, increased character skills, expanded PMC pockets, and additional in-game items, including a unique melee weapon and armband. It also includes free access to all subsequent DLCs and early test server. In the in-game season was switched to late spring. The multiple mechanics had been adjusted, including base inertia, aim punch, blur effects when taking damage, camera shake while shooting, have all been reduced. Reduced inertia, you would think people loved that. There has been a rework of body hitbox penetration with a new system that ensures the body hitbox is penetrated if rounds penetrate power exceeds a certain threshold. Damage and penetration degradation as the round passes through multiple body hitboxes. Additionally, the armpit hitbox size has been reduced. Armor penetration mechanics have also been reworked. If the round's penetration power exceeds the armor's durability by 15, it guarantees penetration. Armor durability now depends on its class and damage. Bullet penetration may degrade due to loss of velocity or after hitting armor, body, hitboxes, or obstacles. Then only 5 days later, on May 30th, 14.8, Achievements have been adjusted for players who completed the Collector and Gunsmith quest lines. Balancing adjustments have been made to the conditions required to unlocking access to Lightkeeper. For Edge of Darkness owners, several bonuses have been included. The starting level of the Charisma skill has been increased, with the bonus applied to existing characters. Players now receive 2 daily quest changes free of charge and a unique craft recipe, the 2A2A Stimulant and Hideout. The development of additional expansions and bonuses for Edge of Darkness and Unheard editions continues. Which was their way of pleasing the crybaby streamer people. Not even 8 days later, June 6, 2024, we're still in 14.9. A new trader, Ref, the host, has been introduced into EFT. To unlock Ref, you must complete Skier's Task Line Easy Money Part 1. Ref's inventory includes well-modified weapons, rare armor, ammunition, containers, crafting items, signal pistols, and keys to rooms of fallen arena gladiators, most of which are sold for GP coins. Rare items and bartering with Ref include Lega medals earned by completing different tasks in EFT Arena, which we haven't even talked about the whole things that have happened in EFT Arena, an entire game mode that has been going alongside all of this, having its own updates and patches just like this. Ref also purchases ammo, weapons, and weapon mods, with the purchase price increasing based on reputation level. An item transfer service allows transferring of rubles, GP coins, and Lega medals from EFT to EFT Arena, which transfers fees of 10% rubles and 5% for items, reduced by the Charisma skill and trader loyalty. New items introduced include Arena Armband, APOC Tactical Wasteland Gladiator melee weapon, and the Theta Secure Container, which can be unlocked or purchased by completing Ref's questline. And then just 7 days later, 14.9.1, in June 13th, 2024, new loot crates have been added, offering useful items across 4 categories: equipment, weapons, supply, and valuables crates. These crates contain items such as chest rigs, armors, weapon, ammo, crafting materials, stimulants, food, water, keys, and more. The crates are unlocked by completing daily and weekly operational tasks in Arena and can be opened at Workbench Level 2 in the Hideout. Ballistic plate colliders have been adjusted for consistency in size and coverage across different plate formats. The protection area of the ballistic plates have been increased for both front, back, side areas, including additional coverage for the collarbone and armpit areas. The Mark of the Unheard now only works in PvE mode, even though it was pay to lose, because it did absolutely freaking nothing and actually hurt your character more than it did anything else. Addition bonuses include 30% reduced insurance return time for Edge of Darkness Edition owners and those who upgraded the Unheard Edition, a unique cultist jacket in the Unheard Edition owners, and a special PMC dog tag appearance for both Edge of Darkness and Unheard Edition owners. Blah, 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 blah. They finally took a break and waited until July for them to give a new patch of July 4th, 2024, 14.9.5. We're still in 14 though. The PvE zone has now allowed solo players to experience raids on their local PC with gameplay identical to online play, while group raids and scav raids still use servers. The wishlist mechanic has been added, letting players track and customize item needs. Huge! Including automatic addition of hideout items. Players will also receive notifications when they acquire wishlist items. A community feedback survey system is now in place. Huge! Offering rewards for completing surveys. I wish they used it more. AI improvements in PvE mode, including AI PMCs picking up loot and equipment, traveling across locations, and acting more tactically. Scavs now also move in tactical formations. Huge! New tasks have been added, including Nostalgia questline for Edge of Darkness owners and quests for acquiring the Mark of the Unheard and extended PMC pockets for all editions. Customization options include new outfits for USEC and Bear, purchasable with Lega medals from Ref. The PvE profile wipe option has been expanded to allow resetting progress separately for PvE or PvP. Players who successfully report violators will now receive in-game currency compensation. Balancing changes include increased spawn chances for various optics and reduced recoil for several bolt-action rifles. The leveling system for hideout management and crafting skills have been improved, and the perception skill hearing distance bonus has been removed. A number of fixes were made for character bodies, loot objects in offline raids, and localization errors. Just 6 days later, on July 10th, we are still in 14.9 to be exact. A new questline has been added for obtaining the 2A2 stimulant, available to all edition owners. An auto wish list now includes an option for hideout zone upgrade items, which covers item needed for building and upgrading the hideout. Excluding favorited crafting recipes, the wish list and survey buttons have been repositioned in the interaction and bottom menus. Several fixes have been made, including the ability to change AI amount in PvE mode, a delay issue with the extended extended PMC pocket rewards, and problems with the DSP radio transmitter and Terror Group Labs access keycard in PvE mode. Armor damage now displays correctly in post-raid stats, and the mild muscle pain and severe muscle pain debuffs are now functioning properly after using the gym in the hideout. Just patch 14 alone is massive. That's so crazy. August 20th, 2024, we finally had wipe at 15.0. In this update, the factory map has been completely redesigned with improved textures, geometry, and new areas like outdoor sections and expanded workshops. AI and loot spawns have been adjusted to match the changes. A new boss called Partisan has been introduced, known for his stealthy tactics and traps, especially targeting low karma players. A new hidden karma system tracks player behavior, affecting AI interactions. The Marathon event allows location transit between raids with some restrictions, and players can now use tripwires, bipods, and weapon mounting for tactical advantages. 2 new hideout zones, Gear Rack and Cultist Circle, offer upgrades and sacrificial mechanics with special bonuses for players who own the Unheard edition. AI behavior has been improved with a variety of responses depending on the faction or relations. New weapons and ammo and equipment like the Uzi and Desert Eagle have been added, along with quality of life improvements like optic zoom adjustments, and new hotkey features. Weapon balancing and technical improvements have also been implemented, including animations, graphics, and sound enhancements. The update also brings anti-cheat improvements and bug fixes addressing issues like visual glitches, grenade explosions, and weapon synchronization. 9 days later, in August 29th, 2024, patch 15.03. This update introduces rare rewards such as key cards and marked keys for significant sacrifices in the Cultist Circle zone in the hideout. Recoil when shooting prone without a bipod has been increased. The in-raid pickup limit for found raid items have been raised to 10 for barter items and 5 for keys and containers. The drop limit for certain barter and information items without the found in raid mark has been increased from 0 to 1, which reduces RMT. The AK CNC Warrior muzzle brake adapter has now been installed on all capable 5.45 assault rifles and carbines. Additionally, regular scavs have been reduced grenade throwing accuracy. A variety of fixes were also made, including resolving geometry with doors and graphical errors across all locations, and fixing task trigger and objective area issues. Visual issues with headgear and accessory clipping has been addressed, as well as problems with enabling and disabling post effects in raid. If you're still here and you're watching this, I appreciate you. You probably already understood the entire thing that this video is, which is me just reading off the patch notes. If you're a real one and you're actually right here at the 22-minute mark, roughly around here, I love you. I appreciate everything that you do. It's very clear that BSG does a lot for this community. They go out of their way greatly to do a lot of things. I just hope it is conveyed to people that watch this video that this game has changed a lot in the last 2 years, and a lot of the streamers and stuff that cry about this game really ignore it. BSG keeps giving us stuff like week after week after week after week, sometimes just back to back like 14, and it kind of just goes unnoticed. People really don't respect the work that's going into this game and the amount of stuff that happens. Because if you go to like any other dev that's out there, aside from Rust gives like a monthly one. You get like patch 14 would have been like 3 Rust wipes. You would have been like forever on it, right? You get like 1 a month with Rust, which is a lot. It's a lot more than other games. You know, you're not going to get that really with Call of Duty. You're not really going to get that with any of these like AAA games. They don't do a whole lot for their communities or their game after a certain point. You know, they kind of ignore the player base for a lot longer than after that. And I don't remember where I stopped at here, so I'm just gonna go like, the animation for enabling tactical devices and lights on helmets have been corrected. The F1 grenades throwing trajectory has been fixed. The task screen has been optimized for better sorting, and geographical artifacts after interacting with partially searched containers have been resolved. Several sound issues were also fixed, including incorrect helmet and headset sound effects, vehicle sounds, and looping sounds on factory. Finally, first-person gear sound volume has been reduced. New sounds have been added for mounted weapons to a vertical surface, and some item weight displays have been corrected. The devs decided to take a break and waited till September 26th to give us 15.2. This update introduces map-to-map travel, allowing transitions between locations in every raid and in PvE mode, including for player scavs. New transitions have been added between various maps, like Streets of Tarkov to Ground Zero and Factory to Customs. The activation time for these transits have been reduced to 1 minute after the raid starts. Some tasks related to the marathon event have been adjusted, but they remain available. An in-game event called Mortar Strike has been added, where mortars attack target areas like Customs, Wood, Shoreline, and Reserve. These mortar strikes affect PvP, PvE, and practice modes, with scavs and other bots reacting to these strikes. New tasks related to the event offer unique rewards, including equipment to warn players of mortar fire and items that initiate mortar strikes at player positions. AI behaviors have been improved, particularly for the partisans, including better movement routes and tripwire installations. Quality of life improvements have been made, including the removal of founded raid marks of ruble, dollars, euros, and GP coins. Balancing changes include new barters for body armor, increased compensation for reports for players violating the license agreement, and adjusted task objectives like adding variations of weapons and armor to complete certain quests. Additionally, ammo rewards for tasks have been replaced with ammo packs. Sound improvements include better occultation for lamp, door, and container sounds, along with increased volume for USEC Charlie voices. Several fixes were made, such as resolving grenade sound issues, fixing visual glitches, and correcting backpack dropping behavior, and improving various gameplay interactions like bot responses and task completion criteria. Ballistic plate compatibility and other in-game specific bugs were also fixed. 15.2 was insane. It wasn't even a patch. October 30th, 1 month later, 15.5, we got this update introduces inventory interaction during the matchmaking phase, which was huge, allowing players to move and sort items in their stash, add offers on the flea market, and view character information like tasks while waiting for the server. Players can also view group equipments and health status during matching, including scavs. Achievement rewards are now available for certain achievements, with rewards that don't disappear after wipes. Players who earned multiple achievements during the Tarkov mystery event will receive rewards for each. Rewards include items like Mr. Kerman's Cat, which I got, and I also got 3 of them this wipe for some reason, and the Addict Tracksuit upper clothing. The stylish one task has been removed, but the players who complete it will retain their reward. The update adds pin and lock functions for items and stash. Huge! Pinned items won't be auto-sorted, while items locked cannot be deleted, sold, or used. Both features help with managing important items. Pinned or locked items can be stored in containers while maintaining their status. The end-game season has been switched to fall, with the late fall to be enabled later. Map-to-map travel has been adjusted, improving transition zones to ensure players appear close to the corresponding zone when loading into the next location. Weapons added include the MPS, auto assault shotgun, and new bipod mounts for more weapons. New attachments for the SCAR, G36, and AUG rifles have been introduced. Several fixes were made, including visual artifacts with water and factory, cellars, weight display issues, geometry textures, fixes on locations, and the ability to use items for containers during weapon builds. Additionally, some AI behavior such as aggression towards players in the BTR has been addressed. And again, this wasn't a wipe. Finally, a small patch in November 2nd, not even 3 days later. Updated small fixes include incorrect experience points when turning in quests, a delay in quest insurance by Lightkeeper if the player died, a hard lock when interacting with the sorting table, streamer mode display on the raid loading screen, and the order of currency displayed on the flea market offer creation screen. 2 new in-game quests, the Master Technique and Finding the Source, are now available. The infection levels, because zombies were added, the infection levels have been adjusted for various locations, with the labs at 100%, Ground Zero, Streets of Tarkov, and 80%, and other locations such as Woods, Factory Interchange at 70%. Customs is cleared of infection by Rasal and his guards. Additionally, the number of infected in the labs were reduced by 25% because people were struggling with them because they're little babies that couldn't learn how to cope with a different game mode and probably didn't play much of the infected stuff anyway. And then finally, in December 26th, 2024, we have patch 16.0. The latest update, the Corunda in-game event, was added, featuring a festive atmosphere, unique mechanics and challenges, and a lot of the maps got winter-themed based on it. Players can now complete a themed task, unlock a new Corunda mode, available on various maps, and they'll refuel and protect a generator. Lights a Christmas tree and advance to new locations. A new frostbite status effect reduces visibility and stamina, with certain shelters or actions mitigating it. And I think it was better than a lot of them because these toxic ones that were just killing people, like we got a new status effect event that didn't just kill people right off. Sucks. So frostbite was fine. It was easy to deal with. The winter season also sees visual updates and snowdrips across maps and a winter-themed factory. The customs location has been reworked with new textures, updated buildings, and additional exfils. Big. New prestige mode. Big. Is available for in-game players, offering unique rewards and the ability to reset progress for further challenges. 2 prestige levels are now available with more planned in the future. New content includes a range of weapons like the rocket launcher, the M10 sniper rifle, and new models for existing weapons like the PP-19. Big. Continuous healing. Big. Allows players to heal multiple body parts at once. The hidden exfil mechanic has been added. Big. With unique items required to activate them in various locations. There's also a new BTR storyline and hideout customization with the ability to visit your friends' hideouts and customization of various elements like walls, floors, and shooting range targets. Big! Character customization now includes winter clothing kits for the Bear and USEC factions alongside new clothing available for the event. Achievements have been expanded with rewards tied to the Quran event and the BTR driver tasks. New technical and audio updates. Big! Improve the game experience, including reworked recoil visuals. Big! AI behavior changes. Big! And the update grenade launcher damage mechanics. Various quality of life improvements such as priority window selection screen. Big! And dog tag style options also have been improved. Additionally, weapon builds, loot, and barter items have been adjusted, and numerous fixes have been made across various systems, including AI behavior, interface issues, and game mechanics. I give it 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Tarkov's the best game ever made, and if you don't like it, just stop playing. If you hate this game and you don't think the devs are doing enough, please literally go play some other game. I don't care if it's your livelihood. If you can't make it on another game and you're not funny enough or interesting enough to watch, play any game out there. Streaming might not actually be for you. People are watching you for Tarkov, but you hate playing Tarkov. Quit bitching about it. Actually find positivity in this game. These devs do more for this game than pretty much any other games that are out there. Spread positivity, not negativity. I know negativity nets you more money, but in the long run, you will be morally sound and better if you just do more positivity. Constantly bitching, moaning, and crying does not look good anyway as it is, and I am starting a revolution. If you agree with my statements here that I am making, go and spread the positivity of Escape from Tarkov. Tell people how much this game means to you, and call out the guys that you see that give negativity view farming streamers, these crybaby, whiny babies. They sit around and make money off of you by screaming into their mics about how negative this game is and how bad this game is. And if you understand what it is I'm saying to you here, call them out as negative view farming people. Start calling them out in the comments for being babies. Do not let them continue this negativity trend. It is hypocritical for them to cry and bitch about Nikita and the devs, and then Nikita and the devs offer them to come over to some cool event and then give them all this money and give them all these streamer items and rub their backs, and then they turn around and cry into their microphones and talk about how bad Escape from Tarkov is. If you genuinely hate this game and you are sitting around bitching about it all the time for views, you should just quit. If this video helped you in any sort of way, considering like, commenting, subscribing, following on my Kick, Twitch, YouTube, whatever you can find down in the description. And just to let you know, this back here, this is where my dog likes to shit all the time. He likes to shit about 3 acres away from the house for some reason, so we bring him out here, and he likes to take and drop one in almost a grid pattern. If you walk out here and walk just a couple steps, you'll find a pile, and if you walk another couple steps, you'll find a pile. There's probably about 5 years worth of shit in this field right here. Anyway, thought you'd want to know.